Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Miza Fadhilah Binti Husni Mubarak. My metric number is 2514698 and I will be presenting The Rise of the Prophet Muhammad, Don't Shoot the Messenger by Yvonne Ridley. Before I begin my presentation, let me give an introduction to the author of my chosen book. Yvonne Ridley is a British journalist, author, and activist born in the working-class mining town of Stanley, County Durham, and had an upbringing in the Church of England. She entered journalism straight after school and rose through regional newspapers, and later on worked for major UK titles. In the year 2001, Ridley was captured by the Taliban in Afghanistan shortly after the 9/11 attacks in the US while working for the Sunday Express. She crossed from Pakistan into Afghanistan undercover in a burqa on 26 September, but was discovered 2 days later by a Taliban soldier and was held for 11 days before her release. This experience had become a pivotal point in her life as it triggered a spiritual journey, which led to her conversion to Islam in June 2003. After her captivity and her conversion, Ridley's work shifted more explicitly to international affairs, humanitarian issues, Islam, and the Middle East. Among her well-known books include In the Hands of the Taliban, Ticket to Paradise, and The Rise of the Prophet Muhammad, Don't Shoot the Messenger, which is what I will be presenting. So a little bit about the book. At its core, The Rise of the Prophet Muhammad, Don't Shoot the Messenger is both a biography and a defense. It offers an overview of the life of Prophet Muhammad SAW, his origins, message, political and military career. It was being released at a time when the vitriol against Islam and Muslim is at an all-time high. And through this journalistic style narrative, Ridley seeks to correct misrepresentations of Muhammad and directly responding to the worst accusations leveled against him by the enemies of Islam. There are 4 main elements in the book that I will be talking about, as well as its key takeaways or arguments about the contents. The first main element is purpose and framing. So Ridley opens by highlighting how Prophet Muhammad SAW has been the subject of criticism and mockery in the West and beyond, often without substantial research, and sets to defend the Prophet against what she sees as long-standing misrepresentations. She also argues that the subtitle Don't Shoot the Messenger indicates that many critiques of Islam are, in essence, attacks on Prophet Muhammad SAW rather than comprehensive or factual evaluations. So this element sets the tone and the purpose of the book, in which her investigations will be used to counter the attacks on Prophet Muhammad SAW's characters, including his wife's military activities and the spread of Islam. In addition, the 9/11 attacks had intensified the media lens on Islam, and the Prophet became a focal point for prejudice and misinformation. Ridley emphasizes on the social, cultural, and tribal context of 7th century Arabia, which is polytheistic society, clan structures, Meccan trade, and the Quraysh tribe. She also explores his role not only as a spiritual leader, but as a military commander and political figure, discussing topics such as jihad, military campaigns, and the spread of Islam. The second element is biography and historical context. It covers Prophet Muhammad SAW's early years and how he emerged in a tribal Arabian society, his upbringing, his marriage to Khadija Binti Khuwailid, and the beginning of his prophetic mission, and also the challenges he faced in Makkah and Madinah, and so on. Ridley addresses each of the major controversies from historical context, arguing that many of the criticisms stem from lack of understanding or deliberate misrepresentations of Islam and its founder. Furthermore, she argues that applying 21st century moral standards to a 7th century context misleads the reader, and therefore, understanding context is essential to counter the misinformations. The fourth element encompasses wider themes, which is power, empire, and legacy. This element explores how Islam and Prophet Muhammad SAW's leadership led to rapid expansion of influence politically, militarily, and intellectually. along with revealing how it challenged the Christian world's dominance at the time. Ridley also looks at and addresses the 21st century legacy of Prophet Muhammad SAW and Islam, how issues like extremism, Islamophobia, and the West's relationship with Muslim communities reflect back on the Prophet's legacy and the Prophet's image. She emphasized how spiritual leadership and political leadership emerged in his persona and how that set the stage for the spread of Islam beyond Arabia. Firstly, we cannot fairly judge Prophet Muhammad SAW actions or those of the 7th century Muslims by using 21st century's Western norms. As I've mentioned before, historical context is crucial in understanding the actions in order to establish factual evaluations. This way, we can prevent misinformations and misrepresentations for generations to come. Second, the narrative of the Prophet as purely violent, oppressive, or power-hungry is merely a distortion. Instead, Ridley presents him as a reformer, leader, and abolitionist, in some sense, within his context. Third, many criticisms of Islam stem from fear, ignorance, or prejudice, rather than nuanced scholarship. From this book, Ridley urges the readers to challenge simplistic narratives. And the fourth one, Prophet Muhammad SAW legacy is not simply in theology, but in shaping civilizations. Social justice themes, the role of religion in politics, the transformation of tribal society, etc. In conclusion, Yvonne Ridley's The Rise of the Prophet Muhammad, Don't Shoot the Messenger calls for informed understanding, respect, and thoughtful engagement with Prophet Muhammad SAW legacy, and it urges readers to move beyond prejudice and appreciate his profound and lasting impact on human history, especially in the modern world. That is all from my presentation. Thank you.